think I'm live. Let's see. Black Friday deals. I'm gonna turn down the volume. Okay, let me see. Audio. Yeti microphone. Move this over. Okay. 27 seconds ago I started. Save episode. I'm just uploading this. I'll wait for everybody to join before I talk about stuff. Morning, Jesse. Okay, let's see. I'm going to name this one. I like SLB. Let's see. Market update 11/28. Morning, Zephin. I did the podcast already, so I'm uploading this one. Let me copy and paste from here. Boom. Copy. This is why I love the ecosystem. Boom. Pasting from my iPhone. Guys, hit the thumbs up. It helps. I'm going to post this here. I'm going to take this out. We're going to take that photo out because I don't want that photo in. Boom. We're going to take this photo out. And that's all the photos. Okay. Hold on 1 second. I'm moving you to black because I've got to do some posting stuff. I'm going to go over the charts that I just went over on the podcast. Let me make sure I didn't delete it from there. Ooh. I will tell you guys, takes so long. If for some reason you guys don't follow me on Instagram or Twitter, I created 2 lists on TrendSpider. Okay. We're gonna put this, and those are okay. I can go back to this. Okay, let me put in $signs so that it gets all this. That's square. One is SQ MYOV. That's one you guys. You retail traders will love. I talked about that. PG, I talked about that. I didn't bring up, there is a Netflix documentary, by the way, on financial planning, I think. It was really good. There's a football player in it who actually is on the Falcons now. up, boil down. And we'll put in our scans. This is not pins. Anybody that likes dividends, NLY, you guys will love that chart and that look at that. Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm moving you back to black. Publish now. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Okay, I can move you back. Safari. We're gonna go to Twitter. I'm gonna close that. Bum 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 bum. God, this thing takes forever to move. Okay, let me see if I'm gonna close that, and we're going to copy, boom. Black Friday savings on HBO Max. How exciting. Who doesn't share passwords? Bum, 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 bum. You guys will like MYOV stocks. You guys can hear me, right? Say hey if you can hear me. Hey. Bum, 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 bum. I went over some pretty good stuff. By the way, if you're starting a portfolio, or if you're thinking of starting a portfolio, my TrendSpider list is what I have. I need to put MRK in there too. MRK. That is my weekly stock picks. Weekly pick this week. Again, he made 3% last week. You cannot, listen, if you're going to make 3% in a week in a market that was down, your algorithm's pretty good. I just think energy and healthcare are the two sectors that are holding up pretty well. Boil, we're going to do our scans. We're going to put in, God, MA. Tom will be happy. Viper Energy wound up. Microsoft. That's good. We'll put in Ford too. And then I just got to get rid of one, so we'll get rid of the period. And then we should be good. Tweet. Hey, Jeff. I love that you guys say hey. Okay. Your tweet was sent. We're going to get out of that one. We're going to get out of that one. And we're going to go into, I'll look at my notes. Okay. So the stocks I went over, first one is KO. And I got to make this bigger on my screen so that I can see it. And I want to make sure that you guys can see it too. I'll wait till it catches up to where I'm at because it's still kind of loading too. God, it's slow. TJ from Instagram wanted to know about Coke. Not. Coke. Yeah, you can see it. Okay. I may have to shrink this a little bit. Let me look. Here's what we're going to do. Shrink it down. Okay. That looks a little bit better. There we go. Okay. That allows you guys to see it and me to see it. Okay. Here's Coke. So Coke has its ex-dividend date coming up, November 29th. You've got this gap down here. I kind of said, hey, I think 60 is your pivot point on this one. You got your 200-day right here. It's above the 200-day. It's closed for the last couple of days above the 200-day. You're above that 9-day. You're punching through the top of the Bollinger Bands. Yeah. I mean, Coke is just one of those. You don't trade this one. This one makes you 5% versus in the algorithm. Buying and holding makes you 22%. This is a Buffett stock. This is where you buy it in good entry points. You kind of hold it and you just accept the dividend for what it is. It's not going to make you rich, but it ain't going to make you poor either. So you kind of just hold on to it. You make your money and be happy. But that 50-day is, that 200-day, I'm sorry, is right at 60. You got this volume shelf right here at about 63. I think your probably top that you're going to get to is 66. It won't get above that. If we look at a long term and we go weekly on this one and we wait for that chart to pin up, you're right at that 50-day. You kind of always have hovered at that 50-day, other than this is COVID where you got below that 50-day. This is when, Janet Yellen decided to start raising interest rates and you just went for a slide. If we take it back here to 2008, you'll see the housing crisis. It won't go back that far. It will. Let's see. Done. Let's bring it back. So you can see Coke just, again, this year, Coke dipped down to that 200-day back in October, down to 54. Just doesn't move much. But that upward trajectory, if you're doing that, you're still in the middle of those. If I were to take a trend line and put it right kind of through there, and then take another trend line and kind of put it through there. Not the best trend line drawing, but seeing how you're in the middle there, you still got room to play with that one. Yeah. Remove all annotations. So Coke I like. Coke is one that I would just buy. Another one that he asked about was Bank of America, BAC. Another one where you just buy it and hold it. The algorithm, I think it's, I said, hey, anytime this one gets near 30, load up the Brinks truck on this one. You'd be up 20% right now. That was at October 13th, so a month and a half from that before. You can see the button hooks happening. It hasn't gotten you out, but it will get you out. The ex-dividend date's coming up December 1st. You had great earnings, just great earnings, rising rates. There's no reason this one won't continue up. So your ex-dividend, you can clearly see this MACD down here. Let's pull it up. See how it kind of crossed down? But because the moving averages, the algorithm hasn't gotten you out. But it's probably going to cross up again. It'll have a secondary cross up. That RSI is super high. Right now it's at 60. No reason to buy into this one. Wait till it gets down below 35. It's at 37.70 right now. No reason to hurry up. Be patient. You'll have times to get into this. I think between now and probably March of next year. At some point, it'll dip down to 30. You've kind of used this 200-day in recent as a resistance level. It just got above the 200-day. If you look long-term, it's a great long-term stock. Square was one. TJ asked me, how do you like Square? I said, I like it a lot better if I hadn't bought it at 160. I'm way down on this one. If you held Square, you held PayPal, any of those, you're way down on it. The algorithm got you out with a 0.5% loss. So it's kind of even. The RSI's in no man's land. The MACD's kind of crossing down. It's probably going to cross up. It's just using the 200-day as its resistance level until it punches through there. I don't know that I'd necessarily buy it. I think anything under 60 here, you buy it. Anything over 60, you can sell it. There's no reason to really hang on to it. I don't see a huge catalyst of anything coming up on this one. The one that he asked me about, which I didn't know what it was MYOV. MYOV. Myovent Science. Probably a retail trader favorite. I looked at it. We got a garbage truck coming up. MYOV is the symbol. And I looked at it in FinViz. They're not making money. But you know what the key is? They're up 72% this year. Now, it was just downgraded to inline by Evercore. SVP Leerlink in August moved them from $12 to $23. In August, they were at $12, and they moved them to $23. They're trading at $26 right now. So if you're in this, my guidance was take half your money off because you should have doubled your money by now. So that's your initial investment. So when you take that half that money off, then you're basically playing with house money. So if it goes back down to 12, you're still playing with house money. So I like this one. But see all the gaps on the way down? You're probably going to, if you're going to pull back majorly, you're probably pulling back to that 200-day. See how it used it as support here? It kind of broke through there, used it as a support level, and then just off to the races from 13 up to 26. It's what bio, if you have the right bio stock, you can get there. So, Myovent Sciences, though, great pick if you're in it. I wouldn't buy it now, though. No reason to buy it now. Buy some puts because that one's just overvalued in my mind. Stock Chart Art, if you're on my Twitter, he posted last night that he's bullish on ENPH. Who wouldn't be bullish on ENPH, honestly? You've got an ascending triangle here. I'm going to pull this down a little bit. An ascending triangle, which is really bullish. You got a buy-in at 308. You're at 319. The RSI is at 61. But your earnings are going up. I mean, the algorithm makes you 40%. Buying and holding makes you 129%. Your average win is 20% on this. You win 33% of the time. So 308, you're at 320. You've almost made your 10%. I think my dogs are climbing under the bed. But ENPH is good. ENPH is a good one that you want. Zim, I mentioned this because I think it was Jesse wrote me yesterday. Hey, are you playing the Zim dividend? For those of you that remember, Zim, I think, paid an $11 or $12 special dividend a few months ago. And so what happens, the ex-dividend date was Friday, so you have to hold it or it's actually today. You have to hold it by the end of day Friday. Takes $2.75 out. So most likely you're getting $2.75 out of Zim. Question is, am I playing Zim to bounce back? Well, it's got the ascending triangle. I just, shippers were part of a retail trade where everybody poured in and then everybody got out. It just had, ever since it kind of shippers just became shippers again, and there wasn't the supply chain issues. I mean, look at that run up from 40 to 20. Now, here's the thing. This is during the pandemic. Let's see what it was trading pre-pandemic for. Let's move to a daily and see if we can get back to 2020. No, it's because it's a newer shipping company. See, the 200-day just started there. But see, we're down here around 13. You go up, 80s. This was when the $11 dividend got paid. They were just making tons of money. Now they're down here. You got support levels down here. You're probably going to go to this gap at 45 to 48 at some point in time. Just because when you go over here to FinViz, Zim, and I did make a big deal, I think, about I'm on a 2015 MacBook. Name a PC from 2015 that could run OBS, TrendSpider, and all of this stuff. Withholding tax procedures on December 2022 cash dividend. Yeah, see, downgrade from Citigroup. Price target in July was 55. These guys are trading at 25 now. The PE is 52. Forward PE is 5. Earnings per share next year expected to decrease by 87%. That's just not a recipe for a stock that's going to shoot up when your earnings are expected to go down by 80-something%. So, am I playing the dividend, Jesse? Probably not. If you guys signed up for TrendSpider and you're watching this, I created some lists. And the lists are, I can share them. I put the link out on my Instagram and my Twitter yesterday. But you can go there and look and link on it. If you have any questions, hit me up. My goal for all you guys that got TrendSpider is to make sure that you use it in your trading like I use it in my trading. Get yourself into a system. Get yourself into a rhythm. Start using it. It's got tons more information than I give you. And it's overwhelming at first. Once you get set up, I'm telling you, it's plug and play. You can look at it. You can just log in, put your chart in, put your scanners, set them up, set yourself up for a day. You want to become pretty proficient in a few stocks and make sure you understand how those chart works in those stocks, blah, blah, blah. But if you need the scanners or you need the lists, just let me know. I'll happily share them with you. In fact, I think that's how they track the usage of you guys as well, is how we interact together. So I want to make sure that you guys have as much. I was reading about dividend stocks this weekend because I'm 52, going to turn 53. Reading a lot. I get a lot of articles about dividends and Bank of America, Pfizer, J&J, the huge dividend stocks. P&G is one that I don't have. Coke is one that I have too. But P&G is one that I don't have. And this one dipped down to 124, October 12th. They're at 146 now. I won't buy them now. But it's one that I thought was interesting because here's the note. The latest dividend hike was announced in April. They're a dividend aristocrat. I did post it in the Facebook group, Zephin. I did. I'll send it to you, though. The latest dividend hike was announced in April when the board of directors approved a 5% increase to a quarterly payout of $91.33 per share. The stock currently yields 2.5%. So, it's a 2.5% dividend. Jefferies analyst Kevin Grundy has a buy rating on Procter & Gamble and recently raised his price target from 149 to 164. That implies a 12% upside. You're trading at 144 now. 146. Sorry, 146. Hold on. I'm going to go look, Zephin. I think I put it in there. I know I put it in the Facebook group. I'm pretty sure I put it in the Facebook group. Let me see. Daily stock picks. Yeah, 2 people liked it. 14 hours ago, Zephin. I think, let me see. Let me see if I can see how many people. I shared core investments. I haven't shared the spiders. The spiders I'm going to share. Let me see. Share. Boom, 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 boom. Here you go, Zephin. Boom. I think that'll take you to it. Let me see what happens when you go there. Go to site. Ah, there you go. Sign up and import. And I think it's live updates. We're going to have to check that. But they did tell me that it was live updates. So, and there you go. There it is on my screen on Twitter as well. Yeah, it's just it's core investments that I have. So, and Zephin liked it too. Ali Jeffrey hasn't answered the membership question. I'll let you in, Ali. I can kick you out if you get feisty. Confirm. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Why didn't she answer or he, Ali, should answer the membership question. Okay. So where was I? I got to go back to my notes. P&G. There you go. There is also one thing I mentioned on the podcast. There's a great Netflix documentary. Let me see. I'm going to post it. You know what I'll do? I'll post it here. I can go to my Netflix. And I can look to see financial. I'm doing a search for financial. Get smart with money. And copy link. Add this to your watch list. Connecting. Add that documentary to your watch list. It's actually really good. I think it's more towards kind of a quote unquote fire audience than a stock picking audience, but it's excellent. And I always say this to a lot of you guys: taxes make more of a difference in your trading than actually picking, winners and losers. Just my take on it. Tesla. We had a cross up on Tesla at 185. It's trading at 179 right now. Elon sent out a letter to all Tesla employees that the fourth quarter will be the record quarter. 185.06. You're trading at 179.68 right now. So 185.06 right there. The RSI is kind of in no man's land at 45. That MACD hasn't been really turning over. You're still below. You're above the 9-day, but you're below the 21. The 50-day is still in negative. The 200-day is still in negative. The 9-day is still in negative. I don't know that I'd necessarily buy in here. What I said on the podcast was if you get to in the 170s, I think you can start adding to your position. If you get to the 160s, add a little bit more. If you get to the 150s, start loading in. If you get down to the 140s, I think you can actually get to like 60% of your allotment you can get. You can buy in. My weekly stock picks. I love this guy. His picking strategy delivers more than 300% cumulative returns since 2019. He's up 9% in 2022. If you told me that I could sell my portfolio and be up 9% in 2022, I'm down like 30% in 22. Hold on, I'll tell you exactly. We're going to look live what I'm down on my portfolio. Year to date. 24.91%. It's almost 25%. That's big. But, again, I'm not selling my portfolio into and trading my portfolio every week. You're not doing that. But Merck's an interesting one because the algorithm that I have makes you 52% in Merck versus buying and holding just makes you 39%. You win 59% of the time with the algorithm. Your average win is only 4.96%. You do have this buy-in here at 86, and it's still got confirmation at 107. So I don't think it's a bad play. I probably would not necessarily buy this to hold less than a week, just because it's so high up there. He got out with a 2% gain last week, 2.4%. So he did well. Oil's down. You're going to get hurt in energy stocks just because there's China crackdown. Demand is down. Russian oil is most likely dumping on the market before the December 5th European sanctions and the U.S. possibility of recession. It's just down. The title of today's podcast, SLB Schlumberger. I like this one. See, and wait till you see the chart. It's a little bit overbought in my mind, but take a look at the way that the chart's working. Here's the MACD. Let's expand this. You're out of it in the algorithm, but look at that MACD. It's kind of come up a little bit here, but it's trending down, and it's trending down towards the oscillator. It doesn't look like it's going to cross up anytime soon. But then you look at the RSI, and that one's trending down as well. And it's down at 40. Now, the ex-dividend date is coming up December 6th, and you're out as far as the algorithm goes. You're out with a 46% gain. There was this buy, and I know I brought this up on September 30th at 38.24, and you had a 46% gain. Now, this one, buying and holding this one makes you 138% over 1,000 candles. The algorithm only makes you, I'm just making sure you can still see me, 57%. Your average win is 12%. It hasn't gotten you in. You're below that 9-day. You're getting that button hook. That 200 days crossing up. You had this golden cross right here, October 10th of the 50-day above the 200-day. And you just continued to move. Now, most likely this gap down here at 48 is going to get filled. 46. 46. My old eyes can't look at this little monitor. 46 is where probably you're going down to on this downturn right here. I wouldn't buy it until it hits 46. When you hit 46, I think you could go in. If it does go back down to the 200-day, then you're probably looking at about 42. So it's not a huge downturn from 46, 10%. But this is one you can just buy and hold. Great company, great financials, great everything. If you have not seen all of the hey, Thanksgiving was up 3% for Thanksgiving Day on online commerce sales. Black Friday was up for all of the shopping in person, in malls and online. Over the weekend, the malls were packed. You tell me that this economy is actually slowing down. And I'll show you a mall where you can't find a fucking parking space. So XLY, consumer discretionary, you had a cross up here at 142. I particularly own this one. I've owned it for quite a while. It's opening up at 141. You're getting concerns about slowdown. So let me see if it shows me on FinViz what the top 10 holdings of XLY are, because I think Amazon's huge in this one. See, retail sales rise 1.3% in October. Uncertainty projected for holiday spending. I don't think it tells me no. It doesn't tell me. I'm sure I can click on a link and look at it. But XLY just has not been good this year. Look at that. That's from April down to 142 from 190. I think you can buy this one. And I think you can buy it. You know, again, if we head into a recession, this is not one that you want to own. Morning, Brent. Not one you want to own at all. In fact, I don't want to own it from January until now. But I do. I just buy and hold this one. These are ones, you know, again, remember your portfolio should be made up not just of single stocks, but also of ETFs. And that's where I put that TrendSpider group. I put some ETFs in there for you as well. And those are stocks that either I own, I'm looking to own, or they're just good stocks. You know, again, I kind of put the list together yesterday. I'll probably be adding to it. So, China is in revolt. There was an estimate yesterday that Apple will lose $6 billion in iPhone sales, iPhone opportunity sales in this quarter because they can't make iPhones fast enough. Just be forewarned. Nobody's not buying the iPhone 14 and switching to a Google phone. They're just not. I mean, put yourself in that position. If you got the iPhone 13, you can't get the 14 for Christmas, you're just going to get it in January. You're not switching to a Google phone. So Apple, unfortunately, they're going to get hit today. It's trading at 145. It's down 2%. This buy right here, I said to people, I said, you can buy it. You can sell it when it hits the 200-day at 151. You could have done that. My feeling is that we're going back down to this 135 to 140, and we're going to cover that gap. If that happens, I think you load up. But you can clearly see right here, all the way since the end of September, you're using that 200-day as a resistance level. And it's because of China. SOXL, SOXS. SOXL is the one that you're in right now, and this one is a legendary gain. From $7, we went all the way up to almost 14. You almost doubled your money. If you listen to the algorithm, let me move this down. Bum, 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 bum. $7.27 here, October 19th. It got you out with a 20% gain, got you right back in. Got you out, got you right back in. You know, sometimes the algorithm does that. But here you are almost at 14. You went up to 14.44 in this candle. So you're at 12.86 right now. My guess is that you're coming back down here to cover this gap between 10 and something. If you really get, I would say it's just overbought right now. Look at that RSI. It's at 64 and it goes down to 58 in the current candle. If you think that one's overbought, you know what's great about these triple levered ETFs is you've got an ETF on the other side. So you don't have to buy puts, you don't have to buy options. You can if you want, but you don't have to do that. You can just buy the other side of this trade. And I do think that the other side of this trade is turning around. You had this buy-in here. This is SOXS. You had this buy-in here at 35.12. Let me make sure you guys can see me. Yeah. 35.12 on November 18th. You had the buy-in. See how far down that MACD is? See how it crossed up? It's coming up. You're at 33.83. It started to come up, but it's kind of failed. And your RSI is down at 34. This MACD is still up above there. It hasn't gotten you out. But there's this gap here between 47 and 54 that's hovering right along that 200-day. I think when you start to see this turn back up, again, it's below that 9-day, so I wouldn't necessarily buy it now. But when it closes above that 9-day, I think you can buy it expecting it to fill this gap. So I've got my eye on it. I'll be watching it. It's on my list to watch. Same goes with KOLD and Boyle. I hope you didn't hold Boyle over the weekend because I told you guys on Friday. If you want to buy Boyle, probably not great to have it over the weekend. KOLD is up in pre-market. Let me see. I'll tell you what it's up. And that means Boyle is down, by the way. KOLD. It closed at 12.35, which was up 7% on Friday. It's at 13.61. So it's up almost another 10%. I told everybody, do not hold Boyle. KOLD, even though it's up, you still don't have a cross up. You probably will today. And you might close above that 9-day. If you close above that 9-day, I think you can buy and hold this one for a day or so, make your 10%. And if you're one of the real degenerates, you can buy an option play on this one. But I think KOLD, again, it's a decaying asset. You don't want to hold this one. It's just one that you play. It's against the futures. Remember, you're not buying anything of value. You're actually just buying a future. And that's all it is. So KOLD versus Boyle. The scans that we had, CRM, Salesforce, their earnings are coming up. I don't know that I'd necessarily buy this one on this cross up. This is a company that they may announce some crazy earnings, some crazy good stuff. You see it at 153 here. It hasn't done anything. I think your top move is going to be that 200-day at 163. I think that's the top of where you get to. The reason why I wouldn't say that you buy CRM is because when you come over here to FinViz, look at the PE. It's 286. 286. There are far better companies that you can buy with lower PE that most likely have significant growth. But that was one that scanned up. Another one that scanned up is Pinterest. They have an activist investor that's been pushing them. It's a secondary cross up. This wasn't one that I was super positive on, but you do have, see that ascending triangle? That's great. That's bullish. By the way, TrendSpider does that for you automatically. And the sale is still going on. So click the link in the description. You'll see all the details on the sale on TrendSpider. I'll share my scan, my algorithm, my lists that I use, all that stuff I'll share with you. Just you have to get the elite version, the middle one. If not, you can follow along. It's just easier if you can do it on your own. And then ask me questions. Hey, I saw this in the chart. Can you help me? Blah, blah, blah. Because I want TrendSpider to be more collaborative with everybody. Another one that's an interesting one that crossed up. It's a secondary cross up. We are going to look. Annaly Capital. And if you know about Annaly Capital, they are a dividend heaven, if you will. There's some gaps here that probably need to be filled, but you have been using that 200-day as a resistance level, and it's at 22 is that 200-day. This was a secondary cross-up. That 16 that you got down here was such a great buy, such a phenomenal buy. But here, when we go over here to FinViz and we type in NLY, I'll show you why people love this one. Scroll down here. 16.26% dividend yield. They have a PE of 2. They basically give away all of their money in a dividend form. Year to date, it's down 30%. So you've collected 16%, but you're down 30% on your actual investment. So you can see here the trend lines, Look at the upgrade, Barclays, equal weight. They have a $19 price target. Well, you're trading at what, 21? So they upgrade it with a $19 price tag. I mean, it's just probably not worth it, but people are flocking to there for the dividend. They see that the dividend's there, and that's where they flock, and that's why it's got some buying here. If you're in at 16, I'd probably take your profits. Just kind of my thought on that one. LYFT had a cross up, and I think it's a secondary one if I remember correctly. But LYFT is one. They only operate in North America. They don't have an additional business like Uber has Eats. They have Uber Freight. They have peer-to-peer delivery. But you did have a cross up on LYFT. And LYFT is North America only. 11.14. 11.14. Your top is $14. So you can make 20% on this one. The algorithm makes you loses you 31% versus the actual stock loses you 71%. You have 30 positions over 1,000 candles. 37% of those are wins. Your average win is 10%. So it's a highly volatile stock. You can win, again, 37% of the time, close to 40. I think that this one probably, with the cross up, you're probably looking at the 50-day. The next cross up on that one at 12 can make 10%. But I wouldn't hold on to that one because I do think that it's probably just a dog that's dying. In the energy sector, XEL, Excel Energy. This is a secondary cross up, but it's been pretty legendary here. 60.21 was the cross up here on October 13th. You can see it's just kind of flat, but the stock continued to go. I think it's using that 200-day as its support level. The reason I brought it up is because it was one of the few on the energy sector that crossed up. MasterCard is one. I like MasterCard and Visa. This is one that the pivot point for me is 300. Anything below 300, I think you buy it. Anything above 300, I think you sell it. You've got this secondary cross up. This was 295 was the on October 14th. You're at 351 right now. It's almost 20% on a Dow stock within a month. You do have this gap that's covering this this 200-day, that red line, and it's 328 to 318. So I wouldn't buy it. It's a secondary cross up, but you can see how high it's running. You can see the RSI running. If you wanted to buy puts, you could buy puts, but it's a secondary cross up. Depends on where the market's going. One that Tom will love from Twitter, Viper Energy. I always call it VNOM just because of the symbol, but Viper Energy has a cross up at 32.78. Not crazy to think that this one's going to go for another run up here. You can see the last run. This gap down here between 28 and 29 is down below the 200-day. I would think that 30, put your stop loss in, I think, at 10%, because I think 30 is going to be a support level here right at that 200-day. So it's starting to trade above that. It's above the 9, it's above the 21, and that 50-day is kind of just support there, but it's still in the positive territory. So that MACD is kind of crossing down right at the oscillator. But in the energy sector as well, PXD, Pioneer Resources. I think it's a Joe Terranova favorite on CNBC. This is one that you could probably get into, and if you wanted to hold it, just hold it. I think it crossed that 200-day. I think it's going to use that 200-day as support level. I think this gap down here, that was an opportunity to buy it at 214 and get a 20% move. I think you've got another opportunity, 254. If we go in here to FinViz and we look at some of the price targets on this one, I think they've, the PE is 9. Initiate Jeffrey 261. And you're trading at 247. So you got 10% on some of these targets. 261, 240. Those were in October. So one that I wanted to look at, and I didn't look on the podcast, with CVX, they got approval to import Venezuelan oil. But I don't know if this one shot up in pre-market or not. Doesn't look like it. It's at 183. Oil's down. It's just, again, you're still in this from 140. Well, I guess the algorithm got you out a couple of days ago. Let me see. Yep, 23% got you out with. But it's still got that ascending triangle. At worst, it's going to come down to 160 at that 200-day. So, there's your look at stocks. I think you've got some pretty good ones here. Pretty good ones. Yeah. I would say there's opportunity to make money. The ones that I like coming up, there wasn't one today that screamed to me, hey, you got to buy it. Like Roblox last week screamed to me on Friday, we should buy this one. Let's see what Roblox is doing today. Because Roblox is one. 3176. Are we above the? It got you out. Got you back in. 3150. You're at 3176. Let me see what you are in pre-market. DLX. Oh, come on. RBLX. Roblox. You are trading at 31.19. So you're below that 31.50 price. I wouldn't be too concerned. Today, I think the NASDAQ is getting hit a little bit as far as the futures go. Let me see. Invest. Markets. Yeah. Dow down 0.6. NASDAQ down 0.6. S&P down 0.8. Those are the futures. Any questions from anybody? I have to probably go because I am getting my booster shot today. My advice to everybody is get your... let me look at TQQQ. I'm getting my booster shot. My advice, by the way, I was telling before I read Brent's comment, was get your booster shot before the end of the year if it's not in the last 2 months. Reason being is, if you want the vaccine. If you don't want it, you don't have to get him, and do whatever you feel comfortable with. But if you want the vaccine and you've been having it and getting it, get the new one. And the reason I say that is because insurance companies will not pay for it next year, most likely. The Biden administration and Congress have said, hey, we're not going to fund a lot of this stuff. So that's why you see Moderna and stuff like that. I still think Moderna is a buy, assuming China may buy these vaccines. I mean, they may, buy them in such bulk that they can get like crazy discounts because they stole the technology anyway. But look at this. Moderna buying at 136 on October 25th. You're 176 right now. Crazy good move. Let's look at TQQQ. I think you're overbought on this one. I don't think it's oversold. Let me see. China's a little bit crazy, by the way, Brent. The estimate that I read this morning is that Apple will lose gigillions. I am a gigillionaire, by the way, because I have gig internet at AT&T. We don't have it up here. We have Comcast up here. So if I'm slow, blame Comcast. But I read that Apple is going to lose $6 billion this quarter based on the slow iPhone deliveries. God, look at these gaps. Okay, I got to shrink this up a little bit. So my old eyes. So see, okay. So the $20 buy-in here You're trading at 22. So you've had your run up. Let me get out of the strategy tester. You guys may not be able to see the chart if I get out of the strategy tester, but I just want to move it up. Okay, you're above the 9-day. So you do have confirmation. You're above the 21. The gaps down below there are what worries me. Go back into strategy tester. Run. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah. See, the RSI is at 56, which I consider no man's land. That MACD, I think you've gotten your 10% move in this one, but you are getting... See how that MACD is crossing up on that signal line? The question is, will the bulls show up today? Here's my thoughts on this. Why take the chance? I don't think that the chart's telling you good or no good. I think it's just, it's unknown from a chart perspective. The downside are these gaps down here between 18 and 19 because you're not above the 200-day. If you're buying into this one and you're looking for 10%, your 22 is there. Your 200-day, which you're going to use as resistance, is a 26. So you've got your 20%, your 10% up there. 20% if you want it. You're just going to have the bulls show up. I don't know that it's a huge opportunity, but let's take a look at the inverse. TQQQ is the Kramer. SQQQ is the inverse. Anybody watch that guy's Twitter last night during the Eagles game? What a douche. So yeah, you've got the opposite going on here where, see, you're below that 9-day. The issue is this Bollinger Band is syncing up right there. And it's kind of telling me, okay, you got a green candle here. We're right at 9:30. So that's a live green candle right there on SQQQ. And your RSI is at 43. See how low the MACD is? My guess is that SQQ, if you're looking at, again, this is probably a swing trade a week. I would say SQQ is probably your play. But I don't think either chart is absolutely 100%, oh my God, you've got to do it. Because look at it, just crossed under the 200-day. So my guess is that it's got this one has to go back up to these gaps. And again, if you're looking to play not an option sense, but a swing trade, I would say SQQ has more likelihood of coming to the 200-day, which is right at about 48, which isn't quite 10%, but you're getting up there near, 5-6%. I think it has more likelihood of being pulled up there than it does being pulled down, just because it's so low. Just my guess. But let me let the dogs out. Hold on one second. Who let the dogs out? Boom, 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 boom. Who let the dogs out? Okay. Dogs are out. I just opened up the bedroom door here. Let's see. I'm going to probably do down live trading. I'll tell you what my portfolio is down a lot, probably 1%. I'm underperforming the market because Apple is down by so much. Apple is down 1.5%. So, anybody else have any other questions? I've been on here an hour. I did my podcast, uploaded the podcast. So you guys, when you get in your car, drive to work, you can listen to the podcast. New subscriber, Ray Bahena. Hey, welcome, Ray. Bum, 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 bum. Anybody else have any questions? I'll be on again tomorrow. Again, I for anybody that signed up for TrendSpider, I created those lists in the private Facebook group. Zephan just confirmed it that it's in the private Facebook group. The link is in the chat window from just a little bit before. I will probably pin that one to the description. Not the well, maybe I should pin it to the description of this video. But if look on Twitter, look on the Facebook group, look on Instagram, any of the socials, you'll find it. I'm going to share probably another list. If you wanted to buy something today, I still think Roblox is probably your best bet today. I like Roblox. KOLD is a good one too, by the way. I think that one's going to probably take, I think natural gas is coming down. I think energy is going to take a hit. But never. You're at the end of the year, Zephan. Here's my thoughts on the market. I don't think you're waiting to buy anything until after the Fed. The Fed is going to go, I think 50 points is based into the market. And I say that knowing that the past two times 75 was based into the market. And then they did 75 and the market tanked. I think you're patient in this market. You look at Amazon. Amazon's up 1.6%. Cyber Monday is going crazy. Black Friday went crazy. But I don't, if you want to trade and you want to, I view this podcast and this portion of mine, when I do the Fire podcast, it's completely different. But this portion, I view the suggestions that I give you guys not as building a long portfolio, but the suggestion that I give you guys is similar to the weekly stock picks. Whereas, okay, if I tell you that we're going to buy, these charts are 4-hour charts. So I think you can take them and those are trend stocks. So for instance, let's just take SQQQ right here. I would tell you that if you wanted to day trade something, SQQQ is probably you're in the trend because the algorithm has told me, hey, the MACD is crossing up. The trend should start to go up. TQQQ is not a buy in the algorithm. So KOLD is a buy in the algorithm. But Zephan, I don't, you don't fight the Fed kind of goes more towards, hey, let's look at our 6 month. If the Fed's, you look at this year, January, we started going down. Well, the first rate hike, I don't think that was until February or March. So my take on it is the best time to buy stocks is today. I don't care what the price is, but the best time to buy stocks is today. And watch that Netflix documentary. There's some great tips in there on investing. And there's this, and I'll tell you, I won't spoil it, but there's a NFL player who got signed out of college and got a check for $1.6 million. And then he goes over, well, I had to pay my taxes. Then I had to pay my agent. Then I bought a house for my mother. Then I bought a house for me. Then I took some trips. Then I bought some jewelry. And all of a sudden that 1.6 is down to like $100,000. And the guy gets hurt and he doesn't have another check, gets released, doesn't have an income. So, he learns about, and his financial advisor tells him, hey, buy an S&P tracking fund. It's called, what is it? I think the link is up top there, Brent. It's called Get Smart with Money. It's an hour and a half. It's basic somewhat, but it's pretty much, I'm always shocked at how and I don't mean this as an insult, but how little people understand money. And for instance, and the reason I don't mean it as an insult is I think anybody can understand money. It's just a lot of people don't necessarily understand it. There's one woman in there who just spends like crazy on credit cards. Just spends like mad. I mean, she has $20,000, $50,000, $60,000 in credit card debt, $200,000 in student loans. And I know a lot of people, there are a few people who have messaged me who live paycheck to paycheck, and they want a way out. And I will tell you, stock trading is not your way out. Stock investing is your way out. I say this a lot, and you guys need to understand this. If you take one thing away from me, buying and holding is your way out of debt. Pay yourself. Dave Ramsey says it all the time. I agree with a lot of Dave Ramsey's teachings. The one thing that he does say is pay yourself. Pay yourself, put it into a money market, let it grow. And in that documentary, Get Smart with Money, the football player, he does what everybody should be doing, which is take some of his paycheck and put it in every week into the S&P. I think it was the 6 month or the year update where they kind of went back to him and he was like, holy shit. He goes, I never knew there was something like this. Yeah. And I'm not a Ron DeSantis or Brian Kemp fan. But I will say the one good thing that both of them did, and I wish I could say that they did it right, but they actually did it wrong. They made finance courses mandatory in middle school and high school. And I'm not a fan because they just didn't do it right. I mean, there's so much to learn from money and so much basics that you can learn. And it is interesting because I read about this one thing where a high school teacher, he wanted his kids to go in to local businesses, and he tried to partner with local businesses and say, hey, I'm going to get you guys, free business analysis from me in the high school. And the high school didn't wind up letting him do this, but this was his lesson plan. And he said, I'm going to take your business and we're going to just look at it and we're going to have these kids come up with some ideas. That to me is an education. If you want to build the next entrepreneurs and give people the opportunity to succeed, I think that's a great opportunity. But, teaching what's in a book, it is what it is. Okay. I'm out. I got to go take a shower, get myself ready. I am, by the way, my absentee ballot. Yep. My absentee ballot. So, I'm going to be mailing this in so that I can participate in the American system. You guys should be. I have a few friends who are disillusioned, in particular in Pennsylvania, who they were like, I have a choice of a guy who lives in New Jersey or a guy who just had a stroke. Yeah. Well, I've got a choice of a preacher or a ex-football player. So I don't think we have great candidates either. Okay. With that, I'm out. I will do some scans. If you guys need me, hit me up on the socials. Hit me up on email. The link tree's down below. You can find anything. So take care, you guys. Have fun. I will be sick as a dog with my booster shot. See you guys.